Hello again. And today's topic is the closed door system when it comes to immigration, specifically in the area of labor certification. Labor certification has always been a difficult area for immigrants to benefit from here in the United States because there's an employer who needs a worker and they want to hire somebody who's here in the United States and they work for them, even though they might have worked for them and they're here in a legal status, but they've been paying them and they want them to work for them. But the way the system is built, they will not be able to get their residency, because if they leave the United States since 1997, if you left the United States and you've been here illegally, you have to stay out of the United States for 10 years. You can't return to the United States for at least 10 years if an employer is sponsoring you and you've been here illegally. So most employers aren't willing to start that, and most immigrants aren't willing to do that type of case, knowing that they're going to lose the employee for 10 years. And what happens now with the shortage of workers is a greater need more than ever to have workers available that an employer can sponsor and hire them and get them residency so that they're working here legally. And most people ask, well, how come these people don't do it legally? Well, this is just another example of why immigrants can't legally process their immigration paperwork, because the law, the way it's built, works against them. And that's what happens. An employer usually, especially for the type of work where there's shortages right now, skilled labor, unskilled labor, nannies, carpenters, painters, mechanics, all this type of work, the employer likes to see how the person works before they hire them. And it's not the type of work as a professional has where they send a resume and do interview over the phone. Usually that type of work, mechanics and things like that, or painters or nannies, the employer likes to see how the person works, and it's more hands-on. And unfortunately, with unskilled workers and skilled workers, unlike professionals, there's a non-immigrant visa where they can come for a while. The employer can see how they work. It's a smoother system. You don't have to test the market to see if there's a shortage. There's no such thing for skilled or unskilled workers. And that makes it difficult for an employer to want to take a chance on somebody who's not in the United States. And if there are people in the United States, usually they're working illegally for an employer, and they can't legalize their status because they can't leave the country for an interview for residency. The other difficulty too is with the shortage of workers that we have now in the United States. The salary that has to be offered from the employer is rising because of the shortage of workers and supply and demand. If you have less workers, then the salary that you have to offer the available workers starts going up. And it's unfortunate because their workers are here, but they're undocumented, they're here illegally. And so that also turns away a lot of employers who want to bring in a worker that they need, and they can't find a US citizen or lawful permanent resident to do the work. And I know a lot of people don't think there's worker shortages until they are involved in a business. Small business sees that all the time. And you can check the news, you see the shortages of pilots, shortages of many areas, shortages of healthcare workers. And everyone thinks it's just in one certain field, where it's not. It's in all fields, either as professional, skilled or unskilled. This country is suffering from a shortage of workers. It's going to get worse with the baby boomers retiring by 2030. It's already affecting Europe, where they have shortages of workers. I just read an article about a major shortage of workers in England, the United Kingdom, and it's happening all over the world. And really having a system where we can get the workers that we need, we can legalize the workers that we have, is very important. But unfortunately, the way the immigration laws are built, they're built to not make available residency for workers who an employer wants to sponsor them. And so it's basically a closed door system for employment-based immigration. Thank you.